And there's the case of LaVar Ball that everybody in the sports world is talking about right now with Lonzo. He may be he may be the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, but he hasn't played a single minute in the NBA. And his dad has gone to Nike and Under Armour and Adidas saying, instead of you making a shoe for my son, you need to launch my brand.
Right.
And you need to call it my brand.
Yeah.
And they all told him £1 sand, so he's now created the Big Baller brand.
Yeah.
But his son hasn't even set foot in the NBA hardcourt yet, and charging almost $500 worth of shoes, which is, Brockman, how much more is that than the Jordan shoes that came out years ago to start off the Jordan brand?
Oh, yeah, the Jordan brand shoes started like $65, which would have been $145 today.
In today's business.
There's a fine line that he's playing with this. You know, first of all, you know, I get it. He's going to go and, you know, launch his kid's brand, you know, before everybody. But, you know, shoes are challenging, right? First of all, there's a bunch of different sizes, and they are built like cars. So if you're buying a shoe for $500 and you're having a minimum of whatever, 1,000 pair come over from overseas, these things better be well made at $500. Now, he has two things. If he doesn't sell many of them, he doesn't have to tell anybody. If he sells out of all of them, that's a proof of concept to Nike and Adidas and all those people. But it's just a big gamble in making a shoe from scratch. And if you just go buy a shoe that's already out there in China and you stamp it, people are going to know. So, you know, it can go either way, but I'm not mad at the initiative he's taking. Maybe that's why he's charging $500 a piece, because maybe they're some kind of custom-made shoe that he's getting.
Well, we're all talking about it. So you think you would suggest that that would be his long-term play, is to prove success and still go to the shoe companies that told him
Absolutely.
to pound sand?
He definitely has to just do it for 6 months to a year, take in pre-orders, build the best shoe he can, put out only 100, 200, 300, and then after that, then he can go to the Nike and whoever of the world and say, this is how old my customer is, this is how many units I sold, this is how much they're willing to pay, this is how much they're not willing to pay, these are the colors that work, do all the research for them. So it's a good gamble. I probably don't disagree with him, but he has to be careful. If he starts to overextend himself and then say, hey, I'm going to build a big shoe company, that may be challenging.
Yeah, it's more, he's made sandals for $225 a piece, kids' shirts for $40, and then when people brought up the fact that this is pretty expensive, he said that if you can't afford this, then you're not a big baller. So he's even branding it by throwing it out there. I mean, that's
you know, that's a little raw. You know, that's a little in your face, because honestly, I'm a big baller, I promise you that, but I'm not paying $500 for shoes. So, you know.
So if he walked into a Shark Tank with this idea, saying that I've got 3 kids, because he's got 2 more coming to UCLA who are apparently just as talented. If he walked in front of you and the rest of the Sharks, LaVar Ball walked in with this concept, would you buy?
I would ask him, yes, it all depends. I would say, listen, if you're doing this pre-order and then you're getting the money first and then you are purchasing it because you know you have this bed of amount of buyers, then we'll sell it to them, absolutely. But if you're going to go out and take $100,000 and buy a bunch of shoes and then hope that you're going to sell them, I don't want to do it. So it's all in the positioning on how he will do it.
I love it.
You're right. That's what he's doing. He's taking orders. They're going to ship in November. No refunds, he said.
Right. Well, you got to make sure, though, he has to make sure that these are good shoes, because, you know, we've done that in the past when, you know, we made shoes with a factory we didn't know, and those things exploded after you walked out the door with them. I mean, the thing, you know, they could have been Chinese slippers as far as I'm concerned.
Literally exploded, not figuratively exploded.
No, literally, like.
Well, speaking of slippers, there's $220 sandals as well.
Oh, my.
That you can buy.
200. Well, listen, if he did $220 sandal, did he already deliver them and now he knows that he sold through them quick enough to then go and do shoes? I mean,
no,
I'm not sure.
It's all at once.
It's all at once.
All at once.
Ooh. You know, that's too much inventory. That's too much. That's too many SKUs, as we call it. You know, Kevin Plank started off with that one shirt for 10 years. That wicker-free Under Armour shirt was for 10 years, and he made the best out of that one shirt. I started off with those FUBU jerseys, those big 05 jerseys that everybody started getting nauseous of seeing, but you have to master the one thing you do the best.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern, on Audience.
If you like that, download our app. Please, just if it's a memory thing, just delete other apps. You don't need those apps. This app, the Rich Eisen Show app, you need that.